Hi, what's going on, guys? It's Almond. Welcome back to another Wizard101 video. In today's video, we have a discussion that is 100% worth talking about, and ever since last night, it's been bothering me, especially on stream as well, and even in other Discords, it's been discussed multiple times of why they're doing this, and it's definitely needed to be talked about, and I want to see your guys' opinion on this too. Just as a whole, because the more information I have on this, I can get a general idea of what the player base is saying. I obviously kind of already know what some of the player base is already going to say, and I already have my opinion on that, so you guys will hear that. But it's about the Hunhow gear and the Shababa gear, because there is a bigger issue that lies between this, right? Regardless if, hey, you exploited the raid, quote unquote, and you open the chest when you haven't even defeated the boss, right? Now, of course, I've already beat the Hunhow raid after I got unbanned. Within like the next day of me actually wanting to play, we hopped in the raid, we beat the raid, and that's that. And I spent more money on the chest than I already have, right? So now I have every piece of Hunhow and Shababa gear. That's that. Right, but I am gonna have to go back and get more duplicate pieces of like themes, rings, amulets, because you want to have like one set of pierce and one set of damage and one set of just mix max, like just one of like pierce and damage, like split, right? Which I'm just going to do personal preference, right? I don't expect all players to do that, but I'm going to do that. So the issue behind this is these upgrades for 170, of course, they're not out on test realm yet. They will be. Someone's still working on them at the moment. I don't think they're going to be coming into the recent patch. If they do, amazing. If they don't, well, we're going to have to wait till the last week of test realm, because we still probably have like at least maybe one more week of test realm if I had to take a guess. And things are like, they're kind of on like a little bit slow. Like there's still a lot of bug fixes that need to made. We still have to wait for the spoiler wall. There's some other stuff as well, but this will honestly be a pretty good topic to talk about, because if you wanted to upgrade the Shababa gear or even the Hunhow gear, right, there's an issue that lies. So with the Nullity gear, you were able to upgrade it via this vendor, right? You just went into the raid if you had the the 160 piece and you had the pixels and the polygons. Pixels and polygons were like the drops from Novus. Polygons were the ones that you can find just roaming around the floor, and pixels were the drops from the bosses, right? And the issue was that, like, hey, you can just go here. You don't have to beat the, you don't have to go inside the Nullity raid and, beat the Nullity and then go at the end and then talk to the crafter. It's not like that. But in the Hunhow raid, everyone knows that the crafter is at the end. So if you want to craft the pity pieces, you have to beat the raid to be able to talk to the vendor. All right. And talking to the vendor will let you buy like whatever other pieces that you want with your reagents. Of course, I don't think I have reagents on this character, but they're the shards. Those shards will like let you target what exactly you want to do. And I'll probably show some footage in the background, but that's the whole point of getting the gear. Now, if you want to get the upgrades, right, for 170, so for the Nullity, it was just via the vendor in the guild. But for the actual Shababa upgrades, you have to go inside the raid, have the gear in your inventory, make sure you do not have it equipped, and make sure it's not locked, right? And those issues play a part of you not being able to upgrade, right? Because one, I just can't see the recipes right off the rip, right? I can't just be like, okay, well, these are the recipes I need, this is like the amount I need, whatever, because we don't know the amount right now. That is its own issue, but I mean, well, once players find that out, I think players will just make a spreadsheet, whatever. And you have to go to the end of the raid, make sure you have everything in your inventory, etc. Now, depending on the player you are, this is kind of an issue. Now, obviously, players are ramping up on defeating the Hunhow raid multiple times now. People have been getting like 2 runs complete, 3 runs all in one key. Multiple people have been doing just a lot of runs in the day, just getting more wins done. So the player base is winning more, but at the same time, people are just ignoring the Hunhow cheat because no one can be bothered to learn the cheat right now, and they're probably gonna make it so you can't do will cast in polymorph, and then players are gonna have to learn the Hunhow cheat. So players are just like, okay, let's just hurry up and get as many wins as we can, get the gear, because I don't want to learn this cheat. And whatever it is, I kind of have like a rough idea of what it could be, but it requires multiple testing, and players just don't want to do that because, hey, we already beat the raid, whatever, we have already killed Hunhow, so there's no point. Now, if I want to upgrade this gear, it's still very annoying because I have to go in the raid, have everything in my inventory, not locked, not equipped, nothing. And I know players are gonna be like, well, just have a backpack elixir. Now, if you have everything in your inventory, you are not gonna fit that in. You're gonna have to do multiple runs, making sure you have the correct amount of reagents. And if you're off on a couple reagents, you're forced to go get the reagent, go redo the raid, spend another hour to beat, like roughly an hour, depending on, you know, if you beat it or not. Maybe like 40 minutes to go beat the raid again, to go visit the crafter. Now, to me, I think that is like, why? Why? I like, at the same time, I get it because the crafter's there, you know, you want to put the upgrades there to incentivize players to go beat the raid one more time, to go upgrade their pieces. But that is just, no, like, why? Like, to me, that just does not seem that well. What I think the whole premise of them putting it in the raid is due to the fact that we had players like me who basically were able to not beat Hun Hao and open the chest. But now that I've already beaten Hun Hao, that situation should not be applied, right? I've already spent another like 100 on the chest. At this point, what they should just do, and this is just a better solution for everybody, right? Because I think the whole premise of it being in the raid is because the exploiters had the gear and they don't have the badge. Easy fix, put the gear in the raid or in the guild house, right? But just gray it out so it requires the badge, right? If it lets us require like the badge, for example, you need to like have I forgot, the Ender of Death, I believe, is the badge. Like, you cannot craft this gear if you do not have Ender of Death. Simple fix. Honestly, that is the simplest fix of everything, right? Because it requires whoever to have the gear already that spent money on the chest, and if they want to get the 170 upgrades, they're forced to go at least beat it once, right? Because if you've already defeated it once, I don't see an issue behind that, right? Let us craft it in the guild house, or even put like increase the badge limit or like the amount of kills on Hun Hao. Because I rather increase the badge cap, like the amount of kills I have to do on Hun Hao to go visit it in the guild, than rather go and defeat it in the raid multiple times on end just to upgrade a couple pieces every so often, right? To me, that doesn't seem worth it. And I've seen a lot of opinions in discords and stuff like that saying this is like, they don't want to do that, it's just not a good approach. Redoing the entire raid and just having to upgrade it is just not for them. And then you have to make sure you're not wearing the gear, make sure you do not have it locked, otherwise you cannot upgrade it. And there's still glitches in the raid that are not fixed yet to this date. Even after me leaving for a month and not doing the raid, there are still glitches that are abundant in the raid. If you beat the raid and you have the shards and you leave and you come back and you want to go pick a piece, whatever, the shards do not show up on the crafter and you cannot upgrade, or you cannot like buy a piece of gear. It just shows that you do not have shards. It only shows the shards that you are getting in the raid. And another thing is you can't transfer the shards either. So like, if I want to switch between characters to raid, I can't do that because all my shards are locked behind my one character and I can't switch it between characters. That's another issue. So you're kind of forced to play on one character all the time, because if you want to like stack up on reagents, it's just better to do it that way. But if like you have to substitute a player out because they're absent or they're just not here at the moment, they're sick, whatever, you're still forced to play on your own school. But if you're forced to play on your own school, well, now you're back to zero pity reagents because you can't transfer it over to go visit the crafter in the raid to pick and choose the remaining pieces you need, or to upgrade it later down the line, right? So overall, I think they need to fix this, need to change it, put a badge on it. I think the simplest thing is just to fix this exploiting issue, right? This, because it all stems from this. Put a badge on it, make it like 5 or 10 Hun Hao defeats or something like that. If you don't want to make it 1, that's fine. Make it like 5, make it 10, whatever it may be, whatever the second badge is, of course. I'm seeing a lot of opinions in the community, and everyone does. I haven't seen any person that's like, yes, this is exactly what I want. I've always seen players get mad about about this idea. It's just not it, right? And if you guys have your own opinion, please let me know in the comments below, because the more feedback I get on this, the better idea I can see of what the player base is. But from what it seems like on the Discord, in my opinion, I think this is just No, this is just a no-go right off the rip. I get the idea of just having the crafter there to pick and choose for pity, but for the upgrades, it should not be there. It should 100% be in the guild house, and that's that. And that comes down to if they want to do that or not, right? I can voice my opinion, but that doesn't mean that they're gonna do it. Obviously they want to see feedback. I think this is a perfect time to, since this is test round, right? We have all of this week, we have all of next week, right? Anything's possible. Literally anything's possible. The more people that voice their opinion, the more likely a change is better to come, instead of having to wait a whole patch that might take a month or two and players are just gonna be upset by then. So that's all I have to say about that. But you guys let me know, like I said, in the comments below, or even let me know in the Discord. But like I said, a lot of people are just not not like, they don't like this, bro. And the idea of just having to just say like, hey, have a backpack elixir, bro. Like, imagine like if I do raids, I'm 160, right? I don't want to buy membership anymore because I'm like, I'm taking a break from the game. I can still do raids because the Shabab raid is capped out at 160. Well, hey, since I don't have a backpack elixir and I don't have membership, well, buddy, you can't fit everything in your thing, right? There's another issue. I don't know. Overall though, that is it for me, guys. More videos regarding test realm coming out soon. Sorry if I sound a little bit sick, kind of just woke up and this was just like the first thing on my mind. I had to record, so there's that. But if you guys haven't joined the Discord, down below, leave a like, subscribe, all type of stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.